Good evening, everyone. I'm also good. Okay. So I hope you remember the previous class. What was discussed in the previous class? Can anyone tell me what was the topic we were discussing in the previous class? Bhavnagar is there, Vishakhapatnam is there, Rajkot, and EG2. Uh, what is the full form of this EG? JNV EG2? Okay. I hope I am audible completely. So moving towards what is the topic that we are going to discuss in this class, that is vector. So before moving towards vector, I will take some recall test. Recall test include the question from the previous class. Like we were discussing motion under gravity. I can remember we were discussing motion under gravity. So we will take one or two questions from motion under gravity. After that, we will start vector. You have completed vector in your classes. So we will pick some questions. How to solve quadratic equation quickly. Okay, Bhavnagar, I will tell you. Very good. You remember that. Really nice. Okay. So starting with the recall test, very simple fundamental test, fundamental question. I hope you remember the sign convention as well. So I will just give you some 30 seconds to solve the question. B. I think this question was given in the homework now. Is there anyone who wants to ask the question? I hope I have given this question in the homework and you have solved it really well, Bhavnagar. Anyone wants me to solve this question or you have completed the question in the homework? Vishakhapatnam easy to and Rajkot, Dahod. Say yes or no. I can move towards the next question if you have solved it. No problem with that. This is some 160-meter high building. This is 160-meter high building. If ball is dropped at the same time, a stone is projected upward from the ground. That means there is a ball which is being dropped from the top of this building, and at the same time, there is a stone thrown vertically upward with the velocity 40 meter per second. Clear? This is the stone and this is the ball. Clear. Now find when and where both will meet. So this is the very simple fundamental question. For that, I am just assuming one thing. Let's suppose they will meet at this point. They will meet at this point in time t. In time t, they will meet and at a distance x from the ground. Because most of the options are from the ground, that's why I am taking the distance x from the ground. If most of the options were from the top, then I will take the distance x from the top. Okay. So after time t, they will meet here. So what I can say, like for ball, I can use the equation S is equals to ut minus half gt square. Everybody knows the equation. Now S is the displacement. Can anyone tell me what is the displacement of the ball up to this point? They will meet at this point. This is ball and this is stone. So what is the distance? What is the displacement? It will be negative or positive. You can see that final position is below the initial position. That means it is going to be negative. And how much negative? Total is 160. X is there. So it is 160 minus X is equals to initial velocity of the ball is 0 because it is dropped. That is 0 minus 5t square. So you can cancel out this one and this one. So what is the equation? 160 minus X is equals to 5t square. This is first equation. This is for ball. Now if I write the same equation for stone. Now again I am using the same equation. This one S equals to ut minus half gt square. What is the displacement of the particle? Can you answer what is the displacement of the particle? Final position is above. That means displacement is positive. So that is X. Initial velocity is what? 40 t minus 5t square. Is it clear? So you can see that x minus 40t, x minus 40t is equals to 5t square, or I can, this is minus 5t square, or I can transfer this minus sign 5t square. This is plus, this is minus. Clear? So this is our equation number second. From these two equations, you can clearly see that 5t square on the RHS is same. You can compare the two equations. And if you compare the two equations, I am comparing them, comparing 1 and 2. Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to do? I am comparing 1 and 2. So what you will get? 160 minus X is equals to 40t minus X. So X and X can be cancelled. T will become 4 seconds. After knowing T, you can place this T in any of the equations. In any of the equations means if you can put this T equals to 4 seconds in equation 1, you will get the answer. Like if I put it, what it will become? 16 into 5, 80 is equals to 160 minus X. So X will be 80 meter. So what is the correct answer? Distance is 80 meter from the ground and time is what? 4 seconds. So which is correct? Option number B. I hope this concept is clear to you. So I will take one more question. This is the question that you should do in your homework. The same kind of question. Take the screenshot and tell me, yes, you have taken the screenshot. After that, I will move further. Now coming back to this question. Am I audible to everyone now? Am I audible to everyone? Okay, so you have some 40 seconds. The concept in this question that I want to discuss here, very good, Bhavnagar and Rajkot. I am audible, that means. There is a hot air balloon which is rising upward with a constant velocity 5 meter per second. Now there is a question, there is a scenario that you should remember. This type of question mostly comes in the form of hot air balloon, in the form of parachute, in the form of elevator or lift, whatever you want to call it. In these forms, there is a question. So what is the punchline? Like suppose you are in a lift or in an elevator. Clear? This is you. And this elevator is moving something upward with some constant velocity. Like suppose it is moving with some constant velocity 5 meter per second. I'm just telling you the concept. What's the concept here? So if while moving, you take your hand out, what kind of hand you have? If you take your hand out and drop a stone. You are dropping a stone. When you drop the stone, if you see what's happening, if someone is standing out and watching or observing the motion of the stone, this stone, can you see that is moving with the lift right now? So it has some velocity which is 5 meter per second. Just listen to my words. When I am holding this stone will have the same velocity as the elevator or the lift. So this stone is also having the same 5 meter per second velocity. So as the time or at the time you leave this stone or you drop this stone will have the same velocity as the lift or the hot air balloon. So what's the concept here? The initial velocity of the stone or the particle or the ball will be same as the moving object in which you are. Like if you are in hot air balloon, the initial velocity will be same as the hot air balloon. Is the concept clear? And as you leave the stone, it comes under gravity and its acceleration immediately becomes acceleration due to gravity. Are these 2 or 3 points clear? Say yes or no. Is this statement clear? When you leave the stone, what will be its initial velocity? Same as the balloon or the lift, and the acceleration is motion under gravity. I am removing all this thing and coming back to the question. What is the question? There is a hot air balloon. Hot air balloon is something like that. And upward with a velocity 5 meter per second. A stone is dropped from it when it was at a height of 60 meter from the ground. That means the stone was at a height of 60 meter from the ground. Sorry, balloon was at a height of 60 meter. This is 60 meter. And a stone was dropped. The height of balloon when stone reaches the ground will be. Okay. So stone, as soon as it is dropped, this is the stone. What will be its initial velocity? Just answer in one sentence. What will be its initial velocity of the stone and in which direction? Very simple question. What will be its initial velocity? Waiting for your responses. Its initial velocity will be 5 meter per second in the upward direction. Is it clear? So what kind of motion it will follow? It will move something upward and ultimately reaches the ground. Option D. Bhavnagar is saying option D. Okay, let's check. So they are asking height of the balloon when stone reaches the ground. So for that, you need to calculate the time required to reach the ground by the stone. Like if it reaches in 5 seconds, if it reaches in 4 seconds, then in 4 seconds, how much distance balloon will cover. So for that, what you should do, I am writing it for a stone. I am writing S is equals to ut minus half gt square. S is the displacement. What is the displacement? Minus 60 is equals to initial velocity is 5t minus 5t square. I am taking g as 10 meter per second square. So this is 5t square. So you can cancel out 5. And if you cancel out 5 and transfer the things, it will become t square minus t minus 12 equals to 0. Can anyone confirm, is this the correct quadratic equation? Is this the correct quadratic equation? Clear now? This is the correct quadratic equation. Now, this is the time I can teach you how to solve quadratic equation quickly without making some without taking something like you did properly. So for that, what you need to do, you need to do the factors of 12, because 12 ones are 12. I think basic things you know. You need to factorize 12 such that it remains -1. So what are those factors? -4, comma 3. If you take -4, comma 3, it will be -12. And if you solve it, it will be -1. So you have done the factors. Now just reverse the sign. It will be 4, comma -3. First of all, do the factors. Factors will be what? -4, comma 3. -4, comma 3, if you multiply it, it will become 12. That is -12, which is given. This is -12. And if you add them, it will be -1. That means all the conditions are satisfied. You can do this in your mind. Now just reverse the signs and it will be your answer, 4, comma -3. Now, one more thing which is very interesting. If we are looking from the point of view of the quadratic equation, if there is something multiplied, like suppose if 2 is multiplied, or the equation is something like that, 2t square minus something, and you got these factors 4, comma -3 as the final answer. So in the end, you should divide this 2 in both the options. That will be your correct answer. Are you getting my point, Bhavnagar? What I was saying. First of all, do the factorization, do the factors, then reverse the signs. Then if there is a constant with the t square, with the x square, whatever quadratic it is, so just divide by this factor and that will be your final answer. So in this particular question, there is no term like that. So I am just removing it. So what is your answer? Your answer is 4 seconds. So t is equals to 4 seconds. In 4 seconds, how much distance will the balloon cover? So for balloon, if I write, it will cover a distance is equals to speed into time. Speed is 5, time is 4, that is 20 meter. It will move further 20 meter. It was initially at a height of 60 meter and it will further move a height of 20 meters. So what is the final height of the balloon? Final height of the balloon is what? 80 meter, which is option number B. Is it clear? Try to be interactive. Say yes or no at least. Don't sit like that in the class. One person should be there who is handling the keyboard actually to type yes, no kind of things. Very good. Now moving further for the next question or next topic actually. This is vectors. In vectors, if I talk about, very good, Rajkot. Now, I hope you have completed vectors. So I will move very quickly about vectors. So first thing that I will tell you, the vector addition. Like if you have two vectors, this is vector A and this is vector B. And the angle between them is something theta. This is the angle between them. So one thing that is sure, the resultant of these two vectors will be something between them. Let's suppose this is the resultant. And according to the parallelogram rule, what will be the resultant? This resultant will be R is equals to, anyone who remembers the relation? Root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Clear? Resultant is equals to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Now, one more thing which is very important in this discussion, that what is the angle made by the resultant? What is the direction of the resultant? So let's suppose the direction made by the resultant is alpha, or the angle the resultant make with vector A is alpha. Mark my word, this angle is taken from vector A. So the direction we are taking it from vector A. So this is alpha. So what is the relation of tan alpha? Tan alpha is equals to, I hope everybody remembers, B sine theta divided by A plus B cos theta. So what is theta here? Theta is the angle between the two vectors. What is B and what is A? You need to remember this in your mind. B is the vector away from alpha. Alpha is taken from A. Remember this word. In this relation, A is the vector from which alpha is considered. For example, these are the two vectors A and B. A and B, this is the resultant R. So if I take alpha, this one, so this formula tan alpha will be written as B. According to the relation, B is what? The vector which is away from alpha. So what is B is this time? This is A. The formula will be A sine theta divided by B plus A cos theta. So I hope you can recognize A and B in actual questions. Is this statement clear? What is B? What is A? I hope this is clear to everyone. Moving further for the next thing, this is parallelogram rule of vector addition. These two relations are very useful. Moving further. Now there are some punchlines. I hope you know these punchlines, but still I'm going with that. And these are very much beneficial for you. If two vectors are in the same direction means that means two vectors A and B are in the same direction. That means the angle between them is 0 and the resultant will be the algebraic sum of two vectors, that is A plus B. Similarly, if two vectors are opposite to each other, this is A and this is B. So what will be the resultant? Resultant will be the algebraic difference of the two vectors. I hope everybody remembers these two things. Next punchline. This is the very important punchline. The resultant of two equal vectors. For example, there are two equal vectors. These are two equal vectors, A and A, F and F. Clear? So for these two equal vectors, what the statement says, the resultant intersects the angle between them. That means the resultant, if this is the resultant R, so this resultant will intersect the angle. That means this will be 45, this will be 45 because total was 90. And in this situation, if I am saying this angle total was 120, then resultant will again intersect and this will be 60, this will be 60. You should remember these things in your mind always. This is always true. The resultant intersects the angle between them. Next point. If the angle between two equal vectors is 90 degree, for example, there are two equal vectors. If you know these punchlines, then I can skip this part and we will further move towards the questions. For two equal vectors, what is the statement? If two equal vectors are perpendicular to each other, making an angle 90 degree with each other, then the resultant will be, I will frequently use these terms in class 12th as well. This resultant will be directly A root 2. The original vector multiplied by root 2. You can remember this relation, very frequently used. Hope this you can learn these things. Two vectors are perpendicular to each other. The resultant will be original vector multiplied by root 2. Similarly, if two vectors are making an angle 120 degree with each other, then their resultant will be the original vector itself. For example, if these are the two equal vectors, A and A, and these two equal vectors are making an angle 120 degree, so the resultant will be the original vector. There is no change. Resultant will equals to A itself. Similarly, if two vectors make an angle 60 degree, what will be the resultant? A root 3. I hope these punchlines are clear to you. In kinematics, I told you how to write the displacement equation, how to write the displacement vector. So I hope that thing also clear. One more thing that I will like to focus, that what are the three unit vectors? Do you know what are the three unit vectors in X, Y, and Z direction? Anybody remembers the three unit vectors? The name of three unit vectors? I hope you remember. In X, Y, and Z axis, what is the unit vector in X? What is the unit vector in Y? And what is the unit vector in Z? In X, it is I cap. Very good. I, J, K. Very good. In Y, it is J cap. In Z, it is K cap. Now moving further. Now this is the time to practice some questions. First question on your screen. I will give you some 40 seconds to solve this question. Anyone getting answers? Okay, someone has answered option B, that is 90 degree. Okay, let's check. Okay, correct option is D. Bhavnagar is saying C. Okay, I have revealed the correct answer, which is option number D. So let's check it. Let's check. The resultant of two velocity vectors A and B is perpendicular to A. Okay, so one thing which is given, there are two vectors. Vector is of velocity, it doesn't matter, two vectors A and B are there. Okay, let's suppose these are two vectors A and B. Clear? Magnitude of the resultant is perpendicular to A. That means the resultant is given something like that. This resultant is R and it is perpendicular to A. Magnitude of R is equals to half magnitude of B. That means question says R is equals to B by 2. This is given. The angle between them is asked. Okay. So one thing, it is given that this angle is 90. Clear? So what you know that you remember this relation tan alpha. This is angle is alpha actually. This angle is alpha. You know the resultant makes an angle alpha with the vector A. So tan alpha, you write the formula tan alpha, alpha is 90. Is B sine theta. What is theta? Theta is the total angle. B sine theta divided by A plus B cos theta. Clear? Tan 90 is sine 90 by cos 90. You can say 1 by 0. So this tan 90 can be written as 1 by 0, or you can say that what you can say A plus B cos theta is equals to 0. Clear? Or you can say cos theta is equals to minus A by B. Let's suppose this is equation number 2. Till now, I hope every step is clear. Moving further, what's given as resultant is half the magnitude B by 2. And you know the formula of resultant. I hope everybody remembers the formula of resultant, the parallelogram rule. R is equals to root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. I hope this is clear. But this is R is equals to root of A square. If you remove the root, it will become R square, isn't it? It will become R square. Clear now every statement. Now put the values. If you put the values, R square is what? It will become B square by 4 is equals to A square plus B square plus 2AB, and cos theta is what? Minus A by B. So this B and B is cancelled. What's happening? It will become B square, or you can say B square by 4 minus B square. I have transferred B square here, is equals to minus A square. Is it clear? This is minus 2A square. This is A square, so it is minus A square. Calculation might seem lengthy, but it is not that lengthy. What will happen next? Can you solve this by taking LCM? Minus 3B square by 4 minus 3B square by 4 is equals to minus A square. Minus and minus can be cancelled. So A is what? A is what? Root 3 by 2B. This is the value of A. Now coming back, I need to calculate the angle theta. Now if you put this value of A, if you put this value of A in equation second, what you will get? If you put this value of A, so cos theta is equals to minus A is nothing but root 3 by 2B divided by B. So cos theta is minus root 3 by 2. When cos theta is negative, in the second quadrant, cos theta is negative, which is cos 90 plus 60. That is 150. Or you can say theta is 150 degree. So I have done nothing special. What I did, I used only two relations. One is the relation of tan alpha, another is the relation of resultant. R equals to parallelogram relation, magnitude relation, nothing else. And by using these two relations, I have solved the question. All these questions are previously asked questions. They are PYQs. Okay. So just tell me, is this question clear to you? Should I move further for the next question? Rajkot, Bhavnagar, Dahod. Okay. Moving further. Okay. Read the question. You can take 30 seconds. Just do what is given. If it is given as sum of two unit vectors is a unit vector, just go with the flow. Do nothing special. You have 30 seconds, something. I will wait for those 30 seconds. Rajkot is in Gujarat and Bhavnagar is in which state? And Dahod is in which state? Gujarat. Okay. This is for Bhavnagar. Dahod is also in Gujarat. Okay. And this JNV BK, I don't know this BK and EG. That will increase my general knowledge, na? You can answer. Okay. Anyone getting answers? BK is also in Gujarat. And the full form of BK, I would like to know. Okay. The question says the sum of two unit vectors is also a unit vector. Let's suppose there are two unit vectors. There are two unit vectors, A and B. And the sum of these two unit vectors is also a unit vector. Let's suppose it R. Clear? So what are they saying? They are saying the magnitude of their difference will be. What is the magnitude of their difference in that situation? So first of all, what is given? I will try to make an equation with that. You know about what is unit vector? The unit vector is something which has magnitude of unity. That means which has one magnitude. One magnitude. Are you getting my point? So unity magnitude. Option A. Okay. Let's try to find out. Okay. Should I reveal the answer or I will reveal the answer later? So what is given? Uh, Vanaskantha. Okay. 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 So R is given as, so if you apply the parallelogram relation, this R is again A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. And if I remove the under root sign, it will become R square. But they are saying the sum of these two vectors is a unit vector. That means R is a unit vector. So this is 1 is equals to A is also a unit vector, B is also a unit vector, plus 2 unit vector 1 unit vector 1 into cos theta. So after this, what you will get, cos theta is equals to, can you see that this 1 and 1 can be cancelled? This is minus 1 by 2. Cos theta is equals to minus 1 by, this is what you get. Clear? Now they are asking us that what will be the magnitude of their differences. So how differences can be written? This is vector A plus minus B. Let's suppose this resultant is R. I don't know what is this R. I need to find this R. Resultant I need to find. Can you see that this is the difference? If you take minus b, it is the opposite to that of original vector b. You have learned that in your classes, I hope. Now, what how you can write the resultant? R is equals to, again, R square is equals to a square plus b square plus 2 vector a, but vector b is in negative cos theta, because b vector is negative now. So you know that this is r square is equals to, a is 1 unit vector, so square will be 1. B is again a unit vector, so square will be 1. This minus I have written here, minus 2. A and B both are unit vectors, 1 and 1. Cos theta is what? Minus 1 by 2. So this is minus 1 by 2. And you can see this minus and minus can be cancelled. 2 and 2 will be cancelled. So R square will be 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. R will be root of 3. So what is the magnitude of resultant in that situation will be root 3, which is correct option number C. So answer revealed is also C. Correct option is C. Don't worry. The questions we are learning, we are trying to learn here. So no problem if we are getting wrong answer. If we are not getting any answer at all, no problem. Nothing to worry. We are here to learn the things. There is a possibility that I can bring a very basic questions that you have already done in your schools. So that will not make any sense. That's why I have taken some questions which are previously asked or above some level. Is this clear? So don't worry at all. My first thing is, don't demoralize yourself if you are not getting the answers. You will definitely learn, you will definitely get answers in your exams. On this note, I am moving further. Okay, very good. Stay motivated always. To the question again. A plane is inclined at an angle 30 degree with the horizontal. So I will just guide you through the question. After that, I will give you some 10 or 20 seconds to answer. So there is an inclined plane. So this is an inclined plane of inclination 30 degree with the horizontal. This is the something like that. The component of a vector tan k cap perpendicular to this plane is, here z is vertically upward. So question says z is vertically upward. That means they are saying z is something this one. So minus z will be something this one. Clear? So there is a vector tan k cap. K cap means z direction. So there is a vector like this, which has a magnitude of 10. Minus k cap is the direction, that it means downward. So now you have to take the components of this vector. You have to take the component of this vector perpendicular to this plane. So I will guide you, I will help you again. Okay, how many of you know how to resolve the vectors, that a cos theta, a sin theta thing? How many of you know? If you know, I will move straight away towards the answer or the. Now you have 10 seconds or some 15 seconds to answer the question. I have elaborated the situation. Take some 15 seconds. Sorry, I should have turned the camera off. Okay. Now coming back. I hope everybody remembers the components thing. So there will be two components. One will be perpendicular to this surface or to this inclined plane, that will be something like that. And another will be along the surface. That will be something like that. And these two component will be something this one and this one. Now you need to find what is the component which is perpendicular to the surface. And if I take that component with some blue pen, or I will take some angles, if I extend this line and this vertical component, this angle will be 30 by geometry. So this angle is also vertically opposite. This angle will be 30. So what will be the component? This component will be tan cos 30 and this will be tan sin 30. Which component they are asking? They are asking the component which is perpendicular to the plane, and this component is perpendicular to the plane. So the answer is tan cos 30. So tan cos 30. If you put the values, tan cos 30 is what? Root 3 by 2. 2 5s are 10. That is 5 root 3. 5 root 3 is the answer, which is correct option number B. Which is correct option number B. The answer is B. I hope you know how to take the components. Moving further with the next question. Okay, this question is something lengthy in terms of calculation, not that lengthy, but maybe you will get some 60 seconds to solve this question. And I am actually giving you some 60 seconds to solve the question. And just try to utilize these 60 seconds. Anyone solving? They are asking the value of A1 minus A2 dot product with 2A1 plus A2. They are asking this value. This is the dot product. And this symbol, you will know that this is the dot product symbol. So I am just doing the dot product here. And if you do the dot product, what you will get? I am doing A1. For A1, I am multiplying here. So it will be 2A1 dot A1 plus A1 dot A2. Clear? Now I am doing it for A2. That means minus 2 A2 dot A1 or A1 dot A2, whatever you want to write, it will be the same thing. Minus A2 dot A2. I hope you can do this. This is simple multiplication thing. I did nothing special in this. Now, if I I will take your notice, these are two unit vectors A1 and A2. Both are the unit vectors. If you do the dot product of A1 dot A1, or dot product is what? I will say A dot A will be what? Vector magnitude into cos, or angle between these two vectors, they are directed in the same direction, so angle will be 0. So this whole result will be 1. So what I am saying, this A1 dot A1 is 1, multiplied by 2 is 2. And if you see this is minus A1 dot A2 minus A2 dot A2 is again 1. So that is 1 minus A1 A2 cos theta. Let it be. This is your answer. Now, answer is not in terms of theta. For that, they have given us one more equation, this one equation. That resultant is root 3 of A1 and A2. I will solve this relation. According to the question, the given thing is A1 plus A2 is equals to root 3. That means resultant of A1 and A2 is root 3. And resultant, the formula of resultant is nothing but A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos theta is root 3. Root 3. If you remove this under root here, it will be root 3 squared. I hope this point is clear. Now again the same thing will happen again. A1 and A2 both are unit vectors. If these two are unit vectors, so this will be 1 plus 1 plus 2 cos theta is equals to 3. So what is the value of cos theta? 2 cos theta is equals to 1. Cos theta is equals to 1 by 2. Now put this value of cos theta here, and what you will get, that will be your answer. If I put the value of cos theta, that will be 1 minus A1 is a unit vector 1 into cos theta is what? 1 by 2. So it is 1 minus 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2 is your answer. 1 by 2 is your answer. That means which is correct? Option number C. Answer is C. You can see that. Answer is C. Okay. In all of these questions, if I say what is the common thing that you can see, that every time they are playing with the unit vector term, they are playing with the resultant formula. They want you to answer in terms of theta, in terms of alpha. That alpha we have already taken 10 alpha terms. So all these equations are utilized. I hope you can summarize these things in your mind. Now you can take one homework question as well. This is your homework question. Try to solve it. It will again utilize the same thing that we have already done in these questions. So I hope you can easily do these questions. If you want, I will give you one more question if you want. Just say yes or no. I will give one more question in homework. Okay. So I am giving you one more question as a homework. Its answer is going to be A. This is one more question. You can take the screenshot. And after that, we will end the session. Done. Okay, everyone. So I'm ending the class here. Bye, everyone.